Hello everybody and welcome. Welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. club, and today I want to close the loop and I'm coming to you from where I came to this morning. So this morning I was bringing you a sunrise from that way behind me, and if you look closely you can probably see the moon rising. So I've got the moon behind me at the moment, but it's not full moon yet. Full moon will be in 2 days' time. So from this location in 2 days, we'll be able to see the moon coming out of the ocean. Unfortunately, I'll be back in Sydney and I'll be working, so I won't be able to bring you that spectacle this time round, but I've added it to the list of things that I want to do over the years, and I want to bring you a time where we've got the moon coming out of the ocean that way and the sun going down over the other side. So today I come to you from my magical location here at Port Stephens. For those who are not aware, I'm standing on Mount Tomaree. Mount Tomaree is one of the headlands, is the southern headland into Port Stephens. And there's a magnificent track which takes about 20 minutes to walk up. It's easy, it's relatively easy. The first third is challenging, then after that it gets easier. So it's great for kids, great for adults and older people, and there's seats along the way, so if you get tired you can just pull up and just sit down and just chill out for a little while. Anyway, let me give you a 360 degree in terms of where I am. So over the back there is up the north coast, so you can see out to Broughton Island in the background there. Then we come around and over there you can see Hawk's Nest, the beautiful Hawk's Nest. Let me put my mic back on, so bear with me. Get the mic's back on. So we've got Hawk's Nest up the back there, Jimmy's Beach, and when I pan around we start looking at the inside of Port Stephens, and as you can see we've got a magnificent sunset happening over there in the background. Look, for many people, I see a lot of people seem to talk about the sunsets in Santorini. I've got to tell you that sunsets all over the world are just glorious, because God has etched his beauty and he's put his thumbprint of beauty in every single country in the world. So as you can see, up here at Port Stephens, we do get a sunset over water. It depends on which angle you come in at, but I'm here at, as I said before, I'm at this magnificent location up here at Mount Tomaree, and you can see the water setting over the Port Stephens waterways, and it's an absolutely glorious sunset. Just take it in. I just can't get enough. I can't get enough of sunrises and sunsets. They're all different, they're all special, and they all are worthy of checking out. Anyway, let me turn the camera around so I can get some of those beautiful rays on my face. And what I'd like to do is to take some time to chat to you about a topic which is near and dear to my heart. And today I want to chat about a topic of change within a business environment. Years ago I worked for a multinational corporation, and its name was Advantra. Advantra was a subsidiary, a joint venture between Telstra, Lendlease and IBM, and it was a subsidiary quickly put together to take advantage of the dot-com boom back in the pre 2000. And what had happened was this organisation was a network outsourcing organisation. So IBM took its data network outsourcing division and it smashed it together with Telstra's voice and data outsourcing division. So you had voice and data on the one hand through Telstra, and you had the outsourcing in terms of equipment and network equipment outsourcing. So all of those were blended together to give one beautiful outsourcing solution organisation. And that organisation was headed up by a fellow by the name of Craig Cameron, who came from Telstra. I'd worked with him at Telstra, and he was a great CEO, a very, very effective CEO. And it was a difficult challenge, because what happened was we brought together two different company cultures. You brought together Telstra, which was a public sector, a public service style of mentality, because telecom was 100% owned by the government, and then once it merged with OTC, it became Telstra, and then slowly it became deregulated and privatised. But it was mainly a public sector style of mindset. And on the other hand, you had a very customer-focused entrepreneurial segment or organisation in terms of IBM. So I had the advantage of working for both organisations, and I knew both cultures pretty well. So it was always going to be like two camels mating. A lot of groaning, a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, and not looking all that great. But hopefully it was going to work. But I remember back then Craig bringing together the team virtually every month and giving the same presentation over and over again. And in that presentation, he would reiterate the same message over and over again. And there's a beautiful sailing boat about to come through the rays of the sunset, so I'll try and get that for you. And his message to the team was, in a rapidly changing environment, we need to change the way we communicate. So it's better to over-communicate rather than under-communicate. So what he was saying there was to the Telstra people and to the IBM people who had come from an environment which was pretty stable, the growth was pretty stable, and so communication there was less frequent because everybody basically knew what they were doing, and the environment wasn't changing all that rapidly. But given that we're in a different sort of environment with the networking outsourcing and the changes which were happening up until year 2000, Y2K, Craig said that we needed to communicate more regularly because it was a rapidly changing environment, and in a rapidly changing environment we need to over-communicate as opposed to under-communicate. So there's a nice little message for everybody to consider in their business environments. And I guess now with COVID-19, things are changing rapidly, so we need to consider what the government is doing, and that is those daily communiques, filling in people with where we're up to on a daily basis, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. And the other thing that Craig said was that in a rapidly changing environment, nobody knows where the future lies. So everybody needs to show leadership and have delegated authority to be able to make decisions on the spot that are smart decisions that impact the organisation and minimise risks. So that's basically it. So for young people, how do we use this? Just remember, it's important to communicate. A lot of people, a lot of young people in particular, have poor communication skills because they don't understand that they need to close the loop. when somebody asks you something, or somebody asks or makes a request, you need to get back to them and let them know that A, to acknowledge that you've received their communication, B, you've understood it, and C, you're working on it. A lot of people just receive a communication from somebody and then don't get back to them until they're ready to finish the project, which isn't the way to do business. So make sure that you pick up on your communication skills and close the loop. Close the loop as often as possible. If somebody says hi to you, say hi back. So keep on pinging back and letting people know where you're up to, what you're working on, and if you've got any challenges, call them out early. So once again, in summary, the experience that I got from working from Advantra under Craig Cameron was that there were two things. In a rapidly changing environment, we need to over-communicate to get the point across and make sure that we're all on the same page. And also, in a rapidly changing environment, everybody needs to become a leader, because nobody's been to the future. Nobody knows where we're heading, and nobody knows what challenges we face ahead of us. And in actual fact, Craig said that experience means little. Experience is a disadvantage in a rapidly changing environment, because our past experience can't shape our future path, because it's changing, it's rapidly changing. So we need to be on the ball and responsive to the changes in the environment. Anyway, let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel great. To everybody out there, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, build your communication skills. Become the best communicator that you can be. Ensure that people depend on you and know where you're at and where you're coming from. Be proactive in your communication skills so that you are the leader and that the ball is always in your court. I've had a few vlogs where I've talked about communication, so have a look at those as well if you need to. So once again, I look forward to chatting you again on Jim's 5 AM Club, coming to you from this spectacular, magnificent place here at Nelson Bay, up here on Mount Tomaree. There's a boat just going through that sunset path on the water. How beautiful is it? And once again, Greece has got magnificent sunsets, but Australia has some magnificent sunsets as well, for those who search for them. I note that there are a lot of people who have lots of posts of Greek sunrises and sunsets, and very few covering the Australian ones. But Australia is beautiful. We have glorious sunsets, and here's just one of them. Anyway, take care. We'll chat again. I'm rabbiting on now, so I need to stop. Ciao. Bye-bye.